Join me as I set sail on the NCL Encore January of 2025 and share all the best this ship had to offer. In this video, I'm excited to share with you my journey on this ship, highlighting the amazing experiences and adventures that were on this fantastic ship. One misconception is that cruising is only for certain types of travelers, such as older adults or families with kids. But the truth is, cruising has something to offer for everyone, regardless of age or travel style. Whether you're looking for an adventure, relaxation, or cultural experience, a cruise can be a great way to see the world. We were one of the first to board this ship, so we got to take a quick sneak peek of the casino before anybody was on board. And obviously, because we were in port, the casino wasn't open. But you'll see here, there's a very nice open area. We found the casino, first of all, was non-smoking, so that was really nice. When we were just on the NCL Epic back in November of 24, it was super smoky. So on this ship, they had a smoking only area, so that was really nice. Here is a quick view of the local, which on some ships with Norwegian, it's the O'Sheehan's bar, but on the Encore, it was the local. You'll see here the buffet. Again, we were one of the first to board, so it was super empty. They've got some washing stations when you first walk on board. They have drink stations. They had plenty of food. We were pleasantly surprised with the buffet offering on this ship. We found the variety to be quite wide, and it did change up every day. So you weren't stuck with the same 5 items every day. The food seemed fresh. And with this being a full sailing, we were pleasantly surprised at how easy it was to navigate through. There weren't long lines. There was a bar there that you could grab a drink, as you could see there. And there was maybe one person waiting in line. So, everything was super quick, easy to get. We never had a problem finding a seat. So, bravo to Norwegian for the layout of this type of ship, because even with a full sailing, it was able to accommodate everybody. I felt, and we were able to not share in the normal frustration that we have when we're on a buffet on a cruise and going to the buffet. Normally, we steer clear of buffets because they're so crowded and chaotic, and the food's just not good or fresh. But we did not find that to be the case on this sailing at all. One tip is to make sure you go all the way through the buffet, because on the right and left-hand side towards the back, they have an Indian station on one side and an Asian station on the other, and they both had really, really good food every time we walked through there. And you'll also find that there is ample seating towards the back of the buffet, which is actually the front of the ship, and you've got a great view of wherever it is, whether you're in port or if you're sailing. Just grab your food, keep walking, go through the buffet, go to the end, and surprise, they've got these little ice cream stations everywhere. So you can also find that everywhere. There's a restroom back here. And like I said, I know we were on board quite early. Oh, hey, Hard Travel was on board doing a little video, so that was fun. Shout out to him. Here is one of our favorite spots on the ship, which was the District Brew House. The first day when we got on board, it was kind of hot in there, so we kind of steered clear from this venue for the first few days, which we're really mad about because it was an awesome spot. And I think the only issue was when we were in port before sailing, the air conditioning. I don't know if it just wasn't working or because it was super sunny. Whatever the situation was on embarkation day right here, it was super hot. So we didn't think that this venue was gonna be a nice fit for us, but, shame on us for not checking it out again, once we set sail for a few days, because like I said, this was one of our favorite spots on the cruise. The crew that was there was absolutely amazing. Entertainment that they had every night here was really nice as well. So definitely, if you're on this ship, don't forget to check out the District Brew House because it's a really, really great venue. They had a very wide variety of beer on tap, and then they also had beers in the coolers that you could order. They also had some wines on tap, and then they had 2 specialty cocktails towards the very end on the right-hand side in this video here. So great spot. Here we have the Food Republic. This is a specialty dining option. So if you do not have the dining package, it is going to be a $50 cover charge per person. And this restaurant was an Asian Latin fusion cuisine. I believe it is open for lunch on sea days, and then it's also open for dinner nightly. Our cabin was a balcony cabin number 14252. We do have a separate video where you can jump on and take a peek at our cabin tour. This menu here is from Spice H2O. It is an adults only area towards the top and aft of the ship that was just recently renovated. It used to be a laser tag, and I believe they switched it over to the Spice H2O during their recent dry dock. I believe our sailing was January of 25, and I think that it had been open for maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior to us getting on board. As of our sailing, it still did not have any water in the hot tubs or the little plunge pool area, but it was a nice addition. I feel like a separate adults only area for people. This is a hidden little spot that people did find out about quite quickly because, as you can see, it overlooks the pool area. But these chairs were not as busy as some of the other deck chairs down by the pool. So if you follow the signs to go over to Vibe, which is a paid separate area, which we didn't have access to because it was already sold out when we booked this cruise. But if you're heading your way towards Vibe, you'll find these chairs, and it was cool area with not as many people, and it had great views. But for Sailway, we went up to the sun deck, and that was a lot of fun. Each of the restaurants had their menus posted, so you could get an idea of where it was you wanted to eat at night. This was the main dining room menu for the first night, and there are 3 separate main dining rooms on this ship. They all have the same menus. From what I'm remembering, they might have maybe like an appetizer or dessert that's different, but don't quote me on that. But I think almost, if not all, of the menu is the same. But this was our Sailway from Miami, and there were, like 7 or 8 ships in port that day, I think. So we definitely got to see quite a few ships pass by us before we set sail. The pool area is, I would say, a bit small, but it was still accommodating for everybody. The casino bar area had a little side area where they showed live sports, so that was a nice little addition to be able to be on board and watch something like the football playoffs. This is the Social, which was their comedy club, and it also turned into kind of a nightclub at night. If you do happen to see Andy as a bartender there, give him a shout out and tell him we said hello. He was absolutely fantastic. He was in this bar every night, and it made our evenings quite a bit of fun. If you're still here watching the video, we hope you're enjoying the content. And if you are, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Feel free to comment with any questions you have. We'll be more than happy to answer anything that we have information on. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can follow along and not miss out on any future content that we have. As you can see here, our balcony view from our first sea day was quite a sight to see. Very, very peaceful. The American Diner is a complimentary dining experience on board. It's open for lunch, I think, every day. And we found the food here to be really good. They had a fish dip that was really good. We had a burger, and I believe Corey had the chicken salad sandwich, and everything was really good and fresh. Highly recommend if you have an afternoon to hop over to the American Diner to check it out. The aft views from Spice H2O were absolutely stunning. Now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier in this video, Spice H2O had only been open for maybe 2 or 3 sailings before we got on board. And you'll see here, that is soot. So it's the very aft of the ship, and I don't know how they're going to resolve this issue, but as you can see here, it looks filthy dirty. So we'll see if they have a resolution to that. Just before you get to Spice H2O, they have the go-kart on board, which we did not partake in the actual driving of a go-kart, but we did watch as some of the passengers passed along, and it looked like it was a pretty fun little experience. It was an add to cart paid item. I think you could buy a pass for the week, or it was maybe like $15 or something per ride. The sugarcane mojito bar was really good. Make sure you take a peek at the menu, because they have a lot of different mojitos to try. I really like the Coco Loco mojito. Corey liked, there was a spicy one that was pretty good. This was the pork dish at the local. It was okay. I only ordered it the one time. It's not something I would order again. It had rice, beans, plantains. What else we have here? Corey got a really good hot dog. The local is a really nice venue. It's open, I believe, 24 hours. There might be like a little bit of time where they're not serving because they're switching from menu to menu. But we did like the local. If you didn't want to have a full 2-hour dining experience for, lunch or dinner in the main dining room, and you were kind of over the buffet, this was a nice included option that you could go and have. They serve breakfast, lunch, dinner. They've got late night snacks. Like I said, they're open, I think, 24 hours a day. So really good spot if you're looking to have some food and not have a long wait. Choir of Man is a must-do on this ship. Hopefully when you are on the ship, they still have the show. I'm not quite sure how long their contract is, but it is a Broadway-style West End show called Choir of Man. Super entertaining, audience involvement. Highly, highly, highly recommend seeing this show if you see it on your daily planner. Now, this show is free to watch. However, you do have to make a reservation. You can do it beforehand on your mobile app, or they also have kiosks on the ship once you're on board. We did do dining via room service one morning. Part of our priority access was we got the morning breakfast complimentary. If not, it's I think a $4.95 per breakfast fee. But anyways, we tried out the room service one morning. It was okay. For the convenience of not having to leave the room, it was nice. The eggs I was not a fan of at all. They tasted super rubbery, but it was an experience. Would I do room service again? Probably not, but it was there, so we tried it out. This is our first port day, which is Taino Bay, and we were actually just here in November, so we took advantage of making this a bonus sea day for us because we did not really need to get off the ship. If you do have Taino Bay in the Dominican Republic as a port for your cruise, it's a really fantastic port in my opinion. It's a port where when you get into the area, you get to dock and, walk on the gangway right then and there. It's not a tender port. And they had a lot of stuff. If you just walk down and to the left, there's pool area, there's a lazy river, they've got food and drink for purchase. It is a very walkable port and, access to a pool almost immediately when you get off the ship. We were docked this day next to the Celebrity Ascent, so that was kind of fun to be eye level with their sun deck area. We got to check out their pool, which was kind of interesting. If you see over there, the infinity pool, I don't know how I'd feel about that, but something different. A tip for you is the sugar cane on the waterfront, the outside bar area, is not actually part of the mojito bar, so you cannot get mojitos out here. It is a sail and sustain bar. They do still have quite a wide variety, but they do not do mojitos out here. So still good drinks, just FYI, if you're looking for mojito, don't go there. Here is another sampling of what dinner would look like at one of the 3 main dining rooms. You'll see over here to the right, each night at dinner, you can actually do more of an elevated experience, and I believe you can use your dining package if you'd like. Otherwise, you're going to pay the fee on the right-hand side there. Now, in all of our years of sailing, I think this was a first for us. We are currently standing in the aft portion of the ship, and we are docked. And our Sailway, we reversed out backwards for probably, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes before we rotated around. So if you were looking for Sailaway and you were in the forward part of the ship where normally you would go for Sailaway, you definitely did not get the correct view from this port, because it was the aft was where you wanted to be. The observation lounge is a great place to stop in for an afternoon snack. Just make sure you look at the daily planner for timing, because they do not serve food all day. These are the canapes that were left in our cabin as part of our priority access benefit. And here's a sneak peek of what we did eat the one evening we went to the dining room for dinner. As I mentioned earlier, we had a very, very long dining experience. We did not go in until like 8:30 at night. So it's not like we were there in the rush of dinner. And 45 minutes into our meal, we had been served 1 appetizer. So we were not a big fan of the dining room experience, but that was our opinion on our cruise with this evening. It was bad enough that we decided to not do the dining room any other night. So that is our feedback on our dining experience in the dining room. We loved every port day in each elevator. If you looked up, it told you where the gangway was and the all aboard time, so that was really nice. This was our St. Thomas day. We did get off the ship and we purchased on our own the Sky Ride to Paradise Point. It's the tram up to the top where you have amazing views of St. Thomas. You can book this as an excursion on NCL. We weren't just quite sure how that would work timing wise, because we wanted to kind of just get up and do it on our own. So I think it was maybe $5 or $10 more to book it directly with the Sky Ride on land than booking it on the ship. and we weren't able to take advantage of the $50 onboard credit we had through the more at sea, but not a big deal for us. We liked being able to do it on our own. And once we were up top, we of course had to go and try one of the famous bushwhackers here, and it was really, really tasty. I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody that's still here and joining me on this adventure. If you've had a favorite cruise experience or have any tips to share, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing for more travel vlogs and inspiration. So St. Thomas is a very, very walkable port, which is really nice. And we were starving when we got back onto the ship. I don't think we had had any breakfast. So I ran up to the buffet real quick and grabbed us a little snack to get us through until I'm sure we probably had 2 or 3 more meals that day. But we really didn't eat that much on this cruise. Food was plentifully available. It's just, I guess the older we get, the less we eat. I don't know. But yeah, St. Thomas was absolutely beautiful. And this day we decided, because we did get back on board before Sailway, so the water slides weren't a huge line. So we decided to take advantage of the non-crowd and we did the water slides. It was a lot of fun, but if you do this one, just note to self, you have to take everything off. If you have a bobby pin in your hair, if you have a belly button ring, if you have a ring on your finger, you cannot have anything other than like basically bathing suit on you. It goes really fast, so I don't think they want you to get caught on anything. And I'm not trying to scare you guys because it was a lot of fun, but just make sure that you are properly prepared, so you don't have your earrings in, don't have a bracelet on, don't have your watch on, you can't take a camera with you. It's just you and your bathing suit and the water slide. Q Texas Smokehouse is another specialty dining venue on board. If you do not have the dining package through the More at Sea, you will be paying $40 per person to eat here. We did not eat here, however, you were able to walk up to the bar and they had seating there so you could sit and have a drink. They had live music throughout the night, so that was fun. Here is another sample of what a main dining room dinner menu would look like on board. If you are going to partake in any of the evening deck parties, and even if you just want to people watch, try and get there early. When you walk through the main doors from like the buffet area to get to where the stage is, just go straight to the left. And there's this great little bench here that we were able to find, but you have to get there early to get those seats. This is the atrium area on deck 6. It's kind of where you can find Starbucks, where you can book your future cruises. Guest services is there. There is a, let's see, the atrium bar, kind of the central hub of the ship for all of the additional things you might need to talk to maybe guest services for, or if you needed to maybe update your shore excursion. All of this will be done right here in deck 6. We were here late at night, so clearly there was nobody here. Now the spot over here where the TV is, they had a lot of activities throughout the day and night. Just to the right of where I'm filming right now, they had various game shows, and they had bands throughout the night. I took a tap class from one of the Choir of Man cast members. And then just outside of the atrium area, these little touch screens are really user-friendly. You can do quite a bit on these. You can, I think, book your theater seating for nights if you want to go to one of these shows that require a reservation. I think this is where you go to book your tender tickets. As you can see here, we unfortunately ended up missing our private island, so the tender ticket was not needed. But those little touch screens are quite easy to use. Let's see, our final port day, which was not supposed to be our final port day, but ended up being our final port day, was in Tortola. So another port where you just dock directly and walk on the gangway. We did get off the ship this day. It was about a 10-minute walk from the pier to the restaurant we went to, which is right here, called Pusser's. And when Corey and I were working on cruise ships 20 plus years ago, this is actually where we had one of our first dates. So whenever we're back in Tortola, we always like to come back to this spot and recreate this lovely photo. Again, consistently good food up on the buffet. This was our lunch this day. We did go to the Asian station and they had it's a noodle bar. They had a Thai soup that was really, really tasty. And then, of course, the view sailing away from Tortola was absolutely stunning this afternoon. Now, had we made the private island port, here was our priority access letter with instructions on what to do for the tendering that day. Again, we ended up not being able to make that port. It is what it is. We did our first ever slot tournament. Corey did participate in this. I think it was $35, and they did different batches of, I don't know, like 6 or 8 people, and it was a 1 minute hit the button and play the game, and he ended up, I don't remember what place he ended up in, but he did not win, therefore he did not get to move forward, but it was fun. And since we were all about the onboard activities this day, since Corey did the slot tournament, I went ahead and did the tap dance class that was hosted by one of the entertainers that was performing in the Choir of Man show. So that was fun. I am a professionally trained dancer, so the class itself was, not anything challenging for me in any way, shape, or form, but I still think it was really cool that they had this as an option for people to do. Here is another menu of, I believe this was another dinner. Yep, dinner menu at the main dining room. Again, we just really did not see the value in spending an hour to 2 hours sitting to have a dinner. So we pretty much did the local or the buffet every night, and that was plenty for us. But I'm sure that the food here was really great. I'm not all about that long dinner experience. Surprise, surprise, we did do the buffet for dinner, and as you can see here, plenty of seating. They normally do for dinner towards the back here where it's empty, just to the right there. They normally have salad, but we got there towards the end of dinner, so the salad bar part was already cleaned up. This is towards the back of the buffet. They've got that set up. They've got the drink station. At night, they turn the Asian station into a crepe bar. I think I saw this literally every single night. So if you're wanting crepes, you can come up here for dinner and they will do that. They had bread pudding every night and like warm cobblers and stuff like that. Plenty of different food options. Again, every night had different items. This was more of the standard. They had pizza, burgers, hot dogs. They had gluten-free bun options, just FYI. We don't have any food allergies, but if you do, the ship is very accommodating. They ask you if you have any allergies pretty much every time you go to sit down. You'll see here that they had vegan mayonnaise. There's a gluten-free sign. Like I said, they're very, very accommodating. So just let them know if you do have any sort of a food allergy, and they'll make sure that you have plenty of options. We did pop in to the main theater this evening. There was a comedy kind of like duo or trio. 2 or 3 different people are doing their acts, and we were not that impressed, so we left that. And here we are over at the local where they did in the atrium area. They had a battle of the sexes. That was really entertaining. So if you don't like entertainment in one venue, just look at the daily planner or start walking, and you'll find something on the ship that will entertain you. So no lack of activities to be found. It's just finding the one that you wanted to do. This was the glow party night. So again, we got there a little bit early to the deck party and got our little favorite seat. They did a great job. The activity staff and the crew that was on board, in addition to the cruise director, I believe her name was Tiara. She's back there with a little sparkly dress on. Tiara was fantastic. She was so involved and hosted almost all of the events. You don't normally see that where the cruise director is like the main person doing a lot of stuff, but she was on top of everything. She had a great voice. She was really good interacting with the crowd, as was the rest of the cruise staff. So very, very fun crew on board the Encore. I don't know if they like to try and stay on this ship or not, but if so, fantastic ship to join on if you want to have some fun cruise staff. Here is the social. Again, they do the comedy club here, and then they have evening entertainment, and our favorite bartender, Andy, over there in this club. He was a lot of fun, but it was actually a pretty big space. You don't realize it, but I'm going to take you around here, and there are all of these little hidden rooms. So even if the main area itself is busy, just find your way to one of these other little cubbyhole rooms, and you can, have your drink, listen to the entertainment, whatever's going on, and you'll have a good time. Sorry it's super dark, but it was before the glow party was still going on upstairs, so we made it down here before the glow party ended, and this was the after party after the glow party. So we were here a bit early. Now, when exiting the social, you'll see over to the right, if you go down, there's a hallway, there's a restroom that way, but if you go down where that gentleman is walking, there's the art gallery down there, and then teppanyaki is straight across. And then if you keep going back around that way, that's where you're going to find the atrium area. There is teppanyaki there. They did have a different venue here. I believe it was like an ice cream parlor, but during their most recent dry dock, they got rid of that to make teppanyaki a bit larger. Here's an example of how easy these little touch screens outside the atrium are. I'm just showing you guys how easy it is to book a show on board if it requires a reservation. Not all of their shows in the main lounge do require a reservation, but I do know that their Broadway style shows, like this one on board here, was A Choir of Man. When we did the Epic, the show was Burn the Floor, and all shows like that did require a reservation. Again, it's free. There's just limited seating, so they wanted to make sure, they want to make sure that everybody that wants to makes a reservation, and then if there are any open seats, I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes beforehand, they open up seating, so you do have to arrive within a certain time if you have the reservation. If not, they'll open up seating. And then this is just showing you a bit of more, that this touch screen has. You can look at the restaurants, the bars, shore excursions. There's maps of where you are. It'll take you through all of the different deck plans. It's very, very user-friendly, and a great way to navigate the ship. Here is the main dining room breakfast. When we go on vacation, our goal is to never set an alarm if needed, so we never made the main dining breakfast times, but I'm sure the food was delicious. They had quite a bit on the buffet for breakfast, and then the local also serves breakfast. You could do the room service for breakfast for a fee. We did have the room service covered with our priority access for breakfast, so that was nice. We only tried it that one time. The observation lounge does also have food available for breakfast as well. You could find these by all of the elevators, and it was really easy to navigate where you needed to go or where you were on the ship. The final sea day was really busy on the pool deck, but I still never found a problem finding a chair. There were, of course, still chair hogs, but this ship did have plenty of chairs to go around. You might not be in the ideal spot, but you'll find a chair. Okay, so on deck 8, as forward as you can get before you get to all of the cabins, you will find the District Brew House to the left and Food Republic to the right. And this deck on deck 8 also has the Waterfront Promenade, which is completely walkable all outside. They've got lounge chairs throughout. People are out there playing cards and just kind of napping, reading books. There are a few bars outside throughout the waterfront. It's, as you can see here, a fantastic spot to watch sunset. Yeah, the waterfront is a really cool feature on this ship. This is the outside dining area of Onda by Scarpetta on the waterfront. They also have the dining room inside as well. So on this restaurant, you can eat indoors or outdoors. And coming up here to the left is the sugar cane on the waterfront, which is that sail and sustain bar. And then just inside, you'll find the mojito bar. As you can see, there are plenty of seating outside, just very, very open, easily walkable. Lots of places to sit. If you go back inside, you'll find the, let's see, the photo galleries in there. All of the trade winds, tax and duty-free shops are inside. There's, let's see, the steakhouse is going to be towards the very aft of the ship on this deck. And these are really fun. They had these binoculars throughout on this promenade deck on the waterfront where you could really see quite a ways. And here is the smoking lounge. If you find this on the buffet, do yourself a favor and grab it. It is a soft, buttery roll, and it is covered with cheese and almost like a whipped cream. I don't know how to describe it. It's like sweet and savory, and it's really good. This truly was a cruise to remember, but all good things must come to an end. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow along so you don't miss out on any future content.